So, WandaVision Episode 2 has just released on Disney+, and I've had a chance to watch Season 1's latest episode, which includes standout scenes and more to break down. In particular, I'm going to be explaining the plot and ending for WandaVision Episode 2 in the aim to help you guys gather a greater sense of what happened. This analysis will also contain spoilers, so if you do happen to be someone who hasn't watched episode 2 of WandaVision, then I would recommend watching this video after you've caught up. If you want to see more videos on all of the Disney Plus Marvel shows, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a like rating. But without further ado, let's dive into my breakdown and explained video for episode 2 of WandaVision Season 1. So episode 2 came out on the same day as WandaVision episode 1, and it's only after you watch both that you realise why Disney and Marvel Studios decided to premiere the MCU series with 2 episodes up front. While episode 1 avoided giving us any clues as to what was really going on, such as how Vision is back and why they are inside a black and white 1950s sitcom, episode 2 starts to offer us clues to what's really happening. To be fair, it is still very little to go on, but we now have some idea of what might be happening. Or at least we have an outline if we allow ourselves to speculate. The 29-minute episode, directed by Matt Shakman and written by Gretchen Enders, features a cold open as Wanda is woken up by a loud sound. She turns on the light with her mind and then looks away, which turns the light off. After this happens a couple of times, Vision wakes up, turns the light on manually, and peers out of the window. All he sees are his wife's lovely rose bushes, to which Wanda responds, "That's all, are you using your night vision, Vision?" Vision assures her that everything is fine, but when the strange sound repeats, he jumps into his bed and draws his blanket up to his face. Vision then remarks that he's heard people talking about some unusual figures in the neighbourhood. Wanda points out that they could be talking about them too, and after all, they are far from normal. The sound repeats again, and in her fright, Wanda pulls their separate beds close together. Wanda then decides to take a look herself by waving the curtains apart, and to their surprise, it turns out to be some tree branches banging against the window. Both Wanda and Vision have a sigh of relief, and as we watch the beds join together, Vision's mind turns to other matters as the two jump under the sheets. But as we reach morning, Wanda and Vision start to rehearse a magic show. It doesn't involve the real magic that they can form, but the fake kind we're used to seeing. As Wanda notes, in a real magic act, everything is fake. The pretend magic allows both of them to be theatrical, with Olsen showcasing her best fake impressed faces. Vision isn't as sold on the idea, but Wanda reminds him that it's their neighbourly duty to participate in the local fundraiser. Plus, it gives them a chance to appear normal. "This is our home now, I want us to fit in," Wanda adds, in a way that conveys she's possibly trying to convince herself as much as she's telling Vision what she wants. Vision then leaves for a neighbourhood watch meeting at a public library, with Wanda about to join the planning committee for the fundraiser. But before she leaves, she hears the strange sound again. Startled, she ventures out of the house to locate the source and finds a tiny red toy helicopter in the bushes. This is the first real splash of colour on WandaVision, and as Wanda studies the helicopter, she comes across a symbol bearing an upside down cross inside of a ring. This isn't something we've seen in the MCU previously, but it sure feels like it will have a greater meaning on WandaVision as we go on. At this moment, Agnes turns up, startling Wanda once again. On their way to the meeting, Agnes tells Wanda how crucial it is to be on the good side of Dottie, who is the local queen of the cul-de-sac and the self-appointed leader of the committee. Wanda's audition doesn't go very well though. First, as she makes small talk with another woman, she's told by Dottie to not talk to others while she's speaking. Later, Dottie says the fundraiser is for the children, only for everyone else present to repeat it in unison as if they are part of some sort of cult. Wanda tries to catch up, but in doing so, repeats it a few seconds late after everyone else, which once again seems to annoy Dottie. At the planning committee, Wanda also meets Geraldine, the aforementioned Another Woman. For those who have been tracking their Marvel news, this will be a clue as to WandaVision's true nature. Paris officially signed on to play Monica Rambeau, a grown-up version of the 11-year-old girl in Captain Marvel who helped the titular superhero pick her signature red and blue costume colours. This likely means that Geraldine is a fake name and that Monica is hiding her true identity for reasons unknown. While all of this is happening, at the Westview Public Library, Vision attends the Neighbourhood Watch meeting. Vision accepts a piece of gum to seem normal, but he ends up swallowing it after someone pats him on the back for a joke of his. An animated sequence then reveals that it's starting to gum up his internals. This might make Vision seem very lo-fi when he isn't, but given that this is taking place in a sitcom universe, you have to be a lot more forgiving of the logic involved. We come back to the planning committee and Wanda helps Dottie clean up as she attempts to get on her good side. Dottie says she's heard things about Wanda and her husband. "I don't know what you've heard," Wanda replies, "but I don't mean anyone any harm." Dottie says she doesn't believe her, only for their voices to fade and a song to break out on a radio next to them. The song is Help Me Rhonda by the Beach Boys, which is the first sign that we've moved into the 1960s. This seems to completely rattle Dottie, who not only wonders who that is, but even asks Wanda, "Who are you?" A strange voice then cuts through this song and says, "Who's doing this to you, Wanda?" and keeps on repeating Wanda's name. As it builds to a crescendo, the camera goes Dutch in WandaVision episode 2, with Wanda's face etched with a mix of confusion and horror. Dottie also breaks the glass she's holding and cuts herself, with the red blood standing out again against the series' black and white look. Wanda does hand her a white napkin to wipe the blood off, and even as she covers her hand, Dottie seems to have already moved on from what just happened. But as we reach the talent show, Vision turns up seemingly drunk, with the gum affecting his capabilities, and a concerned Wanda wonders what's going on. Except they have no time to figure that out, as it's time for their performance. Predictably, it goes entirely off the rails. The gummed up Vision forgets himself and starts to do actual magic. He hovers in the air, he lifts a heavy piano with one hand, and he pulls a hat through himself. Wanda is forced to cover for him as the astonished audience looks on, making it look like he's doing fake magic by either tying him to a rope and pulley, turning the piano into a sheet of cardboard, and using a hall of mirrors, which doesn't work but people believe it anyway. Backstage, Wanda interrogates why Vision is acting so weird. She scans his body, discovers the gum has essentially choked his internals, and then pulls it out. After this, they decide to slink away while no one is looking, but Dottie spots them. To their shock and surprise, she congratulates them for delivering the most hilarious act Westview has ever seen, and then hands them the award for the best comedic performance. Wanda and Vision come back home happy and relieved, just like with the dinner party in episode 1. Vision notes that they managed to fit in while being themselves, but Wanda adds that they needed a few modifications, and it was all for the children, which Wanda and Vision repeat in unison. This is where we reach the main twist of the episode. As Wanda gets up to make popcorn, Vision stops her and points at her stomach, where we see that Wanda is visibly pregnant. How has she willed a pregnancy by saying "for the children"? Is that why the words have been repeated as a sermon throughout WandaVision episode 2? Well, we don't know, but as Wanda questions whether this is really happening, the ominous sound from the beginning repeats. Wanda and Vision go outside to see what the noise was, as a beekeeper emerges out of a manhole. Vision is baffled, as are we, but Wanda seems to recognise what's happening. In a deep voice, she says no, as if it were a command. WandaVision episode 2 then rewinds like one of those old VHS tapes before stopping at the moment where Wanda said, "Is this really happening?" This time there's no ominous sound and the couple kiss. As Wanda now pulls away, Vision's face gets its colour back, and soon the entire scene transitions from black and white to colour, just like many sitcoms did in the 1960s. So from watching this episode, we see that the last few minutes of episode 2 give us the biggest clues we've had yet. Set aside the fact that Wanda can somehow get pregnant with Vision, and maybe she did actually will it into existence, the old sitcom-y world we've seen in the first 2 episodes now feels like a refuge she's built to protect herself and her potential children. Maybe Wanda is or was pregnant in the real world. On the other hand, the voice on the radio at the end suggests otherwise, signalling that Wanda is trapped in this make-believe world. Their lack of memories would also fit that narrative. As we pull away from Wanda and Vision's kiss, the voice from the radio indicates this by repeating, "Who's doing this to you, Wanda?" But that was my brief breakdown video explaining the plot and ending for episode 2 of WandaVision. I thought this new episode was a step up on the first one, allowing the feeling of this trapped situation to really echo on the mysteries that the opener gave us. This next step felt like the perfect transition for a double episode experience, and it also capitalised on the change in the time period really well, especially with the character breakdowns that we witnessed. Like I said in my episode 1 video, the show is giving me huge Westworld and Truman Show vibes, and episode 2 made me think about that even more. I'm intrigued to see how they develop the show from here after the appearance of the Beekeeper and the reveal of Wanda's pregnancy, and also what other transitions they make to other time periods. But so far it's really heating up, and I can't wait to see what's next. I'm giving episode 2 of WandaVision an 8.5 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed my breakdown and review, and overall I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in episode 3 of the new Marvel show, which I will be covering on the channel next week. I'm also intrigued to hear all of your thoughts on episode 2, so let me know down below in the comment section, as well as listing your predictions for episode 3. For more content on WandaVision, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating. I will be covering every episode of Season 1 alongside bringing constant updates on all the new Marvel shows, so make sure to keep a lookout for whenever I post. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.